Hello everyone. Welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 2616 named Minimize the Maximum Difference of Pairs. In this problem, we are given a zero index integer array nums and integer p. Now, we have to find p pairs of indices of nums such that the maximum difference amongst all of the pair is minimized. Also, we have to ensure that no index appear more than once among all of the p pairs. Now here, note that for a pair of the elements at index I and index j, the difference of the pair is absolute value of nums I minus num j, where this absolute value represents the absolute value of x. Now here, we have to return the minimum of maximum difference among all of the p pairs. We define the maximum of an empty set to be 0. Now, in the first example, if we see that the array contains 6 elements, which is 10, 1, 2, 7, 1, and 3, and the value p is 2. So here, if we consider the first pair with the element 1 and 1, then their difference will be 0. And the second pair with the element 3 and 2, and their difference will be 1. So the maximum of 0 and 1 will be 1. So here we have to return 1. I hope you understood the problem statement. Now let's move on to the algorithm. In this problem, the algorithm is pretty simple. We will use the binary search algorithm in this problem. At first, before the binary search, let's try to understand the problem deeply. Now here, we are given this example and we have to consider two of the pairs. So the first pair will be these two and the second pair will be these two. And the difference of this pair will be 0 and the difference of this pair will be 1. So the maximum is 1. So in this test case, we have to return 1. Now, what is the optimal strategy if we want to solve this problem? Suppose let at first sort this array. Now, if we sort this array, the array will become 1, 1, 2, 3, 7, and 10. Now, if we want to make a pair where the difference of their value is minimum, we have to always take the adjacent element because the difference of this 1 and 1 will be less than the difference of this 1 and 2. And similarly, the difference of this 1 and 2 will be less than the difference of this 1 and 3. So, if we want to make the pair, we have to always take the adjacent elements. This is the first intuition. So, to find the adjacent element, we have to at first sort the input array. Now, the basic intuition is if any kind of problem, we apply the sorting operation, then it is high chance that those kind of problem can be solved using the binary search algorithm. So as we are applying the sorting here, so let's try to understand how can we apply the binary search here. Now, for the binary search, let's take two pointer. One is low is initially 0, and one is high. High is it's a large value. Let's say it is int max value. Okay. Now, how this binary search works? We know that for the binary search, we have one of the low value and one of the high value. And we will always try to find the medium value. Now here, let's say our low value is 0 and the high value is int max. So medium will be in between these two values. Okay. Now, suppose as we have to minimize the maximum difference of p pairs. So let's say our maximum difference is m, which is the mid value. Okay. Now, For this maximum value, we will check how many pairs we can get where the difference is less than minimum. That means the difference will be less than or is equal to mid value. If for any pair, the difference is less than or equal to mid value, that means we can consider those pair for this highest value mid. That means suppose, let's say our maximum value is 10 and we have found a pair where the difference is 2, another pair has the difference is 3, and another pair has difference 7, and another pair less difference 10, and another pair less difference is 12. Now, among these 5 pairs, which pairs are the valid such that the maximum value is 10? Of course, the valid pair will be 2, 3, 7, and 10. So here we can see that we will take only those pairs in consideration where the absolute difference is less than mid. This is the first intuition. Now, for each of the mid, we will check how many valid pairs we can get. Suppose the valid pairs will be stored in this element. Now, it can be possible that our valid pairs can be less than or equal to P. That means, suppose here in this problem, we have to make 2 pairs, but we have found 4 pairs as valid. Let's say if we consider any of the mid value. That means as we have to minimize the maximum value and mid is indicating the maximum value. So in this case, where we have sufficient amount of pairs, we have to check whether we can find any of the small mid value or not. So here we have to simply search the element into this range. So here the value will be minimum. So if the valid pairs amount is greater than or is equal to P, we have to shift our high pointer to mid minus 1. It is one intuition. Now again, it can be possible that our valid pair is less than P. That means suppose here we want 2 pairs, but for any of the mid value, we have found only 1 pair is valid. That means we have insufficient number of pairs. So here we have to search for the higher value. So in this case, we have to shift our left pointer to mid plus 1. Now, by doing so and apply this binary search repetitively, we will get one of the mid value where we have get the sufficient number of pairs, and this mid value will be minimum because each time we have found the sufficient number of pairs, we have reduced the high pointer to mid minus 1. That ensures that if we find any of the sufficient number of pairs, we will always try to search for the minimum value. That's how this binary search algorithm works. And the overall time complexity of this binary search algorithm is big O of n log n. I hope you understood the algorithm. Now let's move on to the code. In this problem, the code is pretty simple. At first, we are given a function named minimize max, which has a vector as a parameter and integer p. Now, we have to sort the array first and take 2 variables, low and high. Low is 0 and high is a large prime number. Now, we have to apply binary search here, where the low value is always less than or equal to high value. Now, we have to calculate the mid. Now for this mid value, initially the valid pair is 0, and by using this loop, we are calculating the number of valid pairs for this mid value. Here, we are running a loop from one index to the last index, and if their difference is less than is equal to mid, that means it is a valid pair, and here we are increasing I. That means these I and I minus 1 pairs will not be used in any of the other pairs. So here we are increasing I here. Now if the valid pairs number is greater than is equal to P, that means we have found the sufficient number of pairs. So here we have to look after for any of the minimum value possible. So we have to shift our high pointer to mid minus 1. Otherwise, if we do not find sufficient number of pairs, we have to shift our low pointer to mid plus 1. That means we have to look after any of the higher value. Now finally, we have to return the low. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching this video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.